Greetings and salutations, everyone. Welcome back to another retro review. For those who are new to my channel here, I like to make videos mainly about films, but occasionally about books, shows, games, and so on, which I enjoy and want to share and recommend. But before I start, if you enjoy this content, please give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing and hitting that bell icon so that way you can get notifications for when I put up new content, which is usually 1 to 2 times a week, though occasionally I might put up even a third or a fourth, depending on what's going on. And while you're here, be sure to check out my back catalog and share this video and channel around, as it really does help the channel out quite a bit. Now that that's out of the way, let's jump into this next one, which is for The Man with Two Brains from 1983, starring Steve Martin and Kathleen Turner. Now, for some of the younger ones who may be watching this, you may only be familiar with Steve Martin from Only Murders in the Building, which is a great show on Hulu, which I highly recommend checking that one out. It also stars Martin Short and Selena Gomez. And some of you youngsters out there may only know Kathleen Turner from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, doing the voice of Jessica Rabbit. And that one's been getting some newfound fame recently, some new audience with the release of Disney Plus. So it's nice to see that one has held up over the years as well. But what is this movie about? Well, here's a quick little synopsis about The Man with Two Brains, which states, a brain surgeon marries a femme fatale, causing his life to turn upside down. Things go more awry when he falls in love with a talking brain. We've all seen it before, but it's done in a pretty good way. Just kidding. Yeah, it's a bit basic there. There's a bit more going on here. First thing, this is a comedy through and through. Plays like a long SNL sketch. It's very absurd because Steve Martin plays a character named Dr. Huffer. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Is it spelled Hfruhurr? I think I said that right.
It's off her. I'm sorry. That's all right. A lot of people mispronounce it, but it sounds just the way it's spelled. Hfruhurr. Off her.
Anyways, he is a world-renowned brain surgeon who has pioneered the cranial screw top method of brain surgery. And as you can see, for any of you horror movie fans out there, in this little pre-surgery scene, we get a very young Jeffrey Combs of Reanimator fame in this scene where him and an assistant are shaving the patient before the surgery. Shaving them downstairs, even though it's a brain surgery. See what I mean about this being a comedy? So we got cranial screw top, shaving a patient in the wrong area, and it just gets crazier throughout. So none of this film in any way is supposed to be taken seriously. Anyways, as far as Kathleen Turner goes, yes, she plays this seductress who is trying to find a rich man to marry and take for all of his money. She's really rotten to the core, and Steve Martin's character accidentally hits her with his car, performs a life-saving brain surgery on her, and then falls in love. So, once they're on their honeymoon in Austria, our main character, our Dr. meets another doctor who shows him his laboratory, where he's found a way to switch brains from one body to another, to kind of put all that info from one brain into another body. For some reason, though, Dr. Hafar is able to hear and communicate with one of those brains. That's just a disembodied brain sitting in a jar of fluid. And after he does eventually kind of find out that his wife is this horrible person, he tries to find a way to just be with this brain instead, which means he's going to need to find a body for it. Thus, the hilarity continues in what is one of the dumbest films I've ever seen, and I mean that in the best possible way. Just don't take any of it seriously, because though at times many of the jokes are a bit subdued and subtle, maybe some of them don't land as well as they intended, there's still a lot to enjoy about this one, especially if you've seen and are fans of other Steve Martin films such as The Jerk, Roxanne, or All of Me, as well as if you're a more recent fan of, shows like Only Murders in the Building, and would like to have a look back at his earlier career, though I would recommend Roxanne and All of Me over this one, because they're not quite as zany and untethered as this one is. But anyways, you just want to give this little recommendation here for The Man with Two Brains from 1983, starring Steve Martin and Kathleen Turner. So check it out if available on services and that you have access to. And speaking of checking out, thanks for checking out this video and for staying around to the end, as just like all that YouTube stuff I mentioned at the beginning, it really does help out a lot. And I will see you in the next one.